Are you ready for the best damn sports radio show on the planet? Man Hour Nation, rise up.
You don't want to be every time, no. I would like to personally welcome you to Man Hour After Dark. Say that thing. While I bring you the host, Mike, Buck, and Cone. You know who's coming to the stage. Sports talk than what you about to hear right here. I second that.
Go. You know that it's us when we talking about sports. Giving you facts on the field to the core. Tune in, we need the support. 1 hour too short, still listen some more. On all your stations, not dropping no music. Stripes like Adidas, but Nike just do it. Down 4 in the 4th, we go for the win. Michael 2 seconds, we taking it in. Buck, Mike, and Combs, you know what's going on. Man, now we're After Dark, no LA, we the big spark. No 4th and inches, won't cut you short. Got the best talking, it's all sports. Buzzing more than buzzer beaters. We coming live, all 3 speakers go.
And welcome to the Man Hour, everybody. It's your boy, Brandon Combs. And as you can tell, Michael Buckheister is not here tonight. He is out hunting houses right now. So he is stuck doing his husbandly, his fatherly, his manly duties. And while he's stuck doing his manly duties, we are going to bring you the Man Hour tonight. We've got a great show lined up for you guys. Before we get to all that, before I bring the guys on the show, make sure you go over to manhourradio.com. Check out all the merchandise. Definitely hit subscribe on the YouTube and on the Facebook page. And become a member. Become a member of Man Hour Nation, and you can get all the behind-the-scene footage after the show is over. But without further ado, let me welcome my main man. The guy who's about to go off to college. The guy who has some crap on the back of his walls. Wyatt Williams. What's going on, buddy?
Nothing much, man. Waking up at, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, golfing a little bit, and watching some sports, doing the Man Hour. That's about as dangerous as I get.
That is about as dangerous as you get. For those of you that don't know Wyatt Williams, that's literally as dangerous as he gets.
That's her right there, man.
There's no Mr. Mystique. There's no mystery behind it. There's nothing. It's wake up, do some stuff, do Man Hour, go back to bed, sleep for 14 more hours.
Oh yeah, daily hibernation. It does not get much better than that, honestly.
So what's going on with the college stuff, man? You getting ready to leave? When you heading out?
You would think if you're going to give someone, if I was going to give you $100,000, okay, or near it, you would think that you would just gladly reach your hand out and accept it, and everybody would move on with life. It's just like that.
I would. No. If you want to hand me $100,000, I would gladly accept it.
Right, but it's not that easy with these colleges. You see, you've got to apply for 1,000 different things, sign 1,000 different things, get 20 different things ready all at once. Meanwhile, you've got to submit certain documents, and it's like I feel like I'm joining the military, but at the same time, I'm just going to college. Like, I'm kind of starting to get worried because eventually, they're running out of questions to ask. Eventually, they're just going to ask, like, hey, can we just microchip you and just, like, know what you do at all times and stuff? Because they ask a million questions.
Are you vaccinated?
Huh? No, I'm not vaccinated. I don't.
So then you're not microchipped yet. I am.
Right.
I'm fully vaccinated, so I got the microchip in me.
Speaking of that, did you see there are Krispy Kremes that if you are vaccinated, you can have a free donut free every single day? Free donut free every single day. I just said that weird. But anyways,
I'm fully vaccinated. There's no Krispy Kremes around me, though. That's a problem.
If you see a Krispy Kreme, go in there and try it. I'm the ones in Ohio where Nikki's family's from. We just went there. If you have all your vaccinations and stuff, and you can show your vaccination card, you can get a free donut every single day. One free donut every single day.
Really?
Yes, which honestly, while I'll probably get the vaccination.
Well, speaking of things that like free holes, Tori, what is going on, buddy?
I didn't hear about this Krispy Kreme thing. This is this bogus. Without me, it's horse spit that I didn't know about that. I'm like, I would be fatter than I already am.
I would have thought that you of all people with free holes would have known about the donut thing.
I'm more of a Dunkin' Donuts guy though. I actually really
I like
the
Dunkin's
Dunkin'
too.
Donuts.
Yeah.
So
Have you all ever
Their
had their
coffee's
sour
just
cream
better.
donut?
They're sour
like the old
cream
fashioned,
donut.
sour cream donut.
It's like it's not sour cream. Like when Nikki first got it, I was like, "Oh, sour cream on a donut? What's wrong with you?" She gets it
what
out,
the
and it's
hell?
like
It's
like
no.
this. It's like deep fried, and they put a special glaze on it, and it's just regular icing glaze. I promise you right now, it is the best donut you will ever have
it's
in
special
your
glaze.
entire life.
I mean,
I promise.
Tori, you might know about this, but you have you ever been to Cops?
Yep.
Now that is a hell of a burger place. I've been there twice when I've gone up to the shop up in Milwaukee. Once I had their chicken sandwich with their bacon on it. Fire. Absolute
So,
fire.
I
But
will
their
tell you,
donut burger, is, I mean, Wyatt, when I tell you they cut a like huge glazed donut in half, slice it in half like it's a bun, and they put a bacon cheeseburger on it. And when I want to tell you, man, that is heaven, it's heart attack in a package, but it's heaven. You will die happy, sir. You need
Can I
to
be
go to
100%
Cops.
honest with you guys?
need to come up to Milwaukee and go to Cops.
You guys are gonna hate me when I say this, okay? So prepare
Oh
yourself.
God.
Oh,
I have never liked donut burgers. I just don't understand it. It gets so messy on your hand. Donuts and burgers should not go together. They should be.
what is wrong with you?
All right, we don't need that type of negativity on the
Absolutely.
man hour.
Right,
we
we
are
don't do negativity
done
here.
with Wyatt Williams for the night. I mean, that is just way too much negativity on this show. I mean, we're not even 10 minutes in, Wyatt. Not even 10 minutes in, and you come out with the worst take. I mean, that's even worse than this idiot to my right talking about the Redskins that are going to go 13-4, or it's even worse than Bucks. You know, the Detroit Lions are going to win the division at 10-7.
I've never understood the hype.
Michelle says it's a heart attack waiting to happen, Combs. You know
It
what,
is.
Michelle? That's your fiance. You
I
should be
just
giving
said
him
that.
a heart attack
Yeah.
every time. he
Nana
watches
agrees
the
with me.
movie.
Not only that, but Michelle, how about some support? Support your man. If I want to eat a heart attack waiting to happen, you have to support that.
You know what's going to happen, though,
I'm going
Brandon?
to die happy. How can you not be
know-
happy for me?
You know what's going to happen? We are going to videotape. We're going to take a video on our phones of us eating that and mowing it down and just send it to her.
It's
Wait,
so
next
messy.
time I'm in Milwaukee, man, we're going to Cops
in
for lunch.
One in each hand. We're like,
I just hate having the biggest.
And then
thing,
we're going
honestly,
to
I
wash
think
it down with the chicken burger with bacon.
with the grease. We're going to wash it down with the grease.
I think the biggest thing that really has kind of drawn me away from it. I hate sticky, like the feeling of stickiness. So I think that's honestly part of it too. When you eat a donut burger, it goes everywhere, all over your hands. It's so sticky. Like the first
Yes.
time I saw it,
That's
I was
the
like,
whole thing.
that seems kind of good. And I tried it, and it
Oh,
was just so
God.
messy. It was
Did you
sticky
see
on my
Michelle's
hands,
gu-
and I was like,
Michelle, you're engaged to Brandon. I can't marry you.
She said, I want to marry you first, life insurance. Wow. Wow. All right. Time
But look
to
at
change
Nana-
my
look at Nana.
beneficiaries
Yeah.
when I go to work tomorrow.
Nana
Put
coming
me
in
on
with
it,
the
Combs.
positivity.
No, she doesn't. You're going to die. What does it say? Put that
It
back
says
up.
it says no. Oh, no, she doesn't. You're gonna die happy with Michelle in your life as your wife.
Yes.
Happy wife, happy life.
Look, happy husband, happy freaking donut burger.
Birthday?
That's all I got to say.
no.
That's all I got to
There's
say.
nothing that rhymes with happy husband. It's happy
Brandon's
wife,
like-
happy life.
Brandon's like,
There's
third time's the
There's a reason
charm.
why there's nothing that goes with it.
All right, so we're gonna. So we've got some things going on in the sports world. We're definitely gonna get to a bunch of it tonight. One thing I want to get to, you guys, is the ratings for the NBA have been way down in these playoffs. I mean, way down. I think the NHL's ratings are actually higher than the NBA's ratings right now. And so with that being said, does the NBA need these conference finals to be absolutely phenomenal? Do they need both of these to be like 7-game series that are just back and forth every single game every night to get back?
Wait,
Well, I think
before-
they're. I think they
our
would
boy
need
Green
it.
Bay Greg.
Before we get into that, Greg is on Team Donut Burger. Welcome to Team
Greg's
Donut
Greg's
Burger.
Come on, Greg.
Green Bay Greg loves. He's like you guys. He's a big Packer fan. We try to ignore that fact. We love Green Bay Greg, but we do try to ignore the fact that he's a Packer fan, or at least I do.
I like Greg already.
Why do we need? Does the NBA? I should say. Does the NBA need these conference finals to be great to come back?
I mean, I think any sport would always want their conference finals to be great. I don't necessarily know if they're going to be great as what the Suns have showed us so far. I think that the Suns, as of right now, might actually just walk a 4-0 win straight to the finals. But who knows? We'll see, of course, tonight what the Clippers do with that. But I mean, I think they kind of have to at this point. With LeBron not in it, Luka's not in it. I mean, those two huge names. Kevin Durant and the Nets, that big three, they're not in it. I mean, there's a lot of teams that normally are in it, or names, I should say, that are normally in it. This is the first.
Yeah.
This will be the first NBA Finals without LeBron, Steph Curry, or Kobe Bryant since 2004, I think, 2006, something like that. It's been a long time since we haven't seen LeBron, Steph, or Kobe in a final. So I think it's just a new weird territory that nobody's used to, and we've all just kind of got to move on.
The Stanley Cup semis right now, and I know you're not a hockey guy, Wyatt, but
I've been watching them, though.
We're talking about the Islanders and the Tampa Bay Lightning, who the Tampa Bay Lightning I think are the best team in hockey, but the Islanders can score with the best of them. They were down 2-0 last night, down 3-2 in the series, and they come back and win that game to force a Game 7. You've got the Canadians, who nobody thought, being the last seed in their division, nobody thought that they would be in the spot that they're in. They're one game away tonight from knocking off the Las Vegas Knights, who have been probably the best team in the Western Conference all year. So, the hockey semifinals, I think, are putting the NBA conference finals down. I don't think that that's why that they're stammering, though. I just think it's a watered down product. I know Buck has a different idea. Buck thinks that it has to do with the political stances that they've taken on the court that's, stopped people from watching. But that I don't feel that way just because I think every sport has done that. I just think that the product right now in the NBA, not only do you only have small market teams left, minus the Clippers, I guess, but they're really a small market team in a big market. I think that the product, because you're looking at games ending in regulation that are, 147 to 145 because nobody plays defense, and you're just doing a slam dunk and 3-point contest every single night.
No. I think the ratings are down, just like you said, and we talked about it. We touched on it last night. It's the small market aspect. Milwaukee's a small market. Phoenix is a small market.
They're the only reason you're
Atlanta's
watching, right, Tori?
Market. Right, and I said that last night. If the Bucks weren't in it, I wouldn't be watching the playoffs at all.
And you're a basketball guy.
And I am, but I am also a fan of my team. I would passively watch it. I would be like, oh, okay, but I'm not going to sit there and watch every game at that point if my Bucks aren't in it.
Would you watch every game of the World Series if the Brewers aren't playing?
I do that. I do that. Because it's the World Series.
See, exactly. But these are the NBA conference finals.
But I do the same thing, though. The NBA finals, though, I would watch every single game because I do enjoy watching the finals. So, and you get to that point a lot of times because it is and for me,
when the Brewers are out of it, you don't watch you passively watch the rest of the playoffs until you get to the World Series.
Until we get to the World Series, yeah.
See, I'm the opposite. The Cubs are out. I still watch every game. And the Cubs are usually out of it. Minus the last 6 years, the Cubs have always really been out of it by the time we get into October. The last 5 years, we've been lucky enough to have a really good, solid, organization and a solid team. Finally, what?
Combs, pre 6 years ago, the Cubs were out of it on opening day.
Pre 6 years ago, you were 8. So,
I was a Cubs fan, though, okay? I remember that. It was never fun. And you've experienced it much longer than I have, but I know I never had fun with it, so I can only imagine what you have felt about it.
Congratulations, Nana, Penelope.
Nana, absolutely. I was 10 and a half years away from retirement, and now I'm going to go start a new career.
Nana says she has an announcement. Today's date starts the countdown to my retirement. 1 year to go. I can't wait till the day I can retire. I'm probably about 75 years away from being able to afford it, but I can't wait.
See, now I'm I'm going to disagree a little bit with Jameson here
Why?
because
What are the reasons to watch? Give me. I don't like the. I like basketball. I follow.
Shut up and listen.
But I don't like the NBA. So give me a reason to watch the NBA.
Because it is small market teams. It is This is the ultimate underdog stories. Were the Nets supposed to be here? Yup. Were the Lakers supposed to be here? Yup. Were the Knicks supposed to be better in the playoffs than they were? Yup. Was the Heat supposed to make it farther in the playoffs than they did? Yup. You have nothing but underdog stories, which is really ridiculous to say. Like for the Bucks, you have a guy that won back-to-back MVPs, one Defensive Player of the Year, and MVP one of those years. But it is the thing is, I'm not stupid. It is a small market team. They do not get the national media attention that a lot of other teams do. They don't have there is no legacy teams left in this playoff. It is literally underdog versus underdog. And I think it both helps.
That's what the NHL is right now, and people are watching that like crazy. I've got it on in the background right now.
But you're a hockey guy too.
But I'm a baseball guy first, and I've got plenty of baseball to watch right now. But I've got the hockey game on because I want to see if the Knights can force a Game 7, or if the Canadians are going to pull off one of the greatest underdog stories in NHL history.
Right. Well, that's like the inaugural season for the Las Vegas Knights. After they beat the Blackhawks, I was pulling for them to win because it would have been the first time ever.
Yeah,
it was their inaugural season. I did. It was their
Why? Because they beat the Blackhawks. That's why you want to bring it up.
No, because I'm a Blackhawks.
That's why you want to bring Tori. Anyway, Joey chimes in, says I'm back. That's awesome, Joey. Thanks for joining us.
Wait, hold on.
Just one question for you though, Joey. Is your mom with you?
Oh, wait, you got to go there.
Tori, did you just say you're a Blackhawks fan?
Yeah.
So there is one sport that all three of us actually agree on.
There is one, yes.
There is
the one
I didn't know
that Wyatt doesn't watch. Cool.
But literally, the guys that I used to watch, the guys that I used to watch were playing in the 90s, and you weren't even born yet or even thought of yet.
Well, that's true, yeah.
Like I was in the Jeremy Roenick, Eddie Belfour, Chris Chelios, Steve Larmer, Steve Smith era.
All right, guys. So we're gonna take a quick break. When we come back from break, we are going to get into into some sports headlines. So stay tuned. We will be right back. Welcome back to the Man Hour. Guys, we've got a lot of stuff going on right now. One of the things I want to talk about, and I know you guys touched on this a little bit last night, but MLB has this new, they're cracking down on the pitchers. We talked about it on Monday. We talked about it a little bit last night. But they tweeted out the other night, or it was actually yesterday in the afternoon. They tweeted out, this would go a lot smoother if you would just cooperate. Now, have you ever been in an argument with somebody and you're just like, you get to the point where you're just like, shut up and listen. Does that ever make them shut up and listen?
No, it makes it. It's
No,
like telling
it
a
makes
girl
it
to calm
worse.
down. It just doesn't work.
Just calm down while somebody's hysterical.
Yeah.
Those two worst words to tell any female on earth is calm down. Oh my god.
So they had some feedback on some of these tweets. One of them was Max Scherzer, who said, "Do you mind if we pitch naked?"
Check my hair. Check my hair.
And so, do you guys think that this was a smart move for MLB, not only to do the checking, because let's face it, and I've heard this a lot. I've heard Tom Waddle here in Chicago on his radio show talk about, they decided to crack down on the rules. It's a rule. You've been cheating, and now they're cracking down on the rule. They let it go, but now they're cracking down on it. I don't agree. I don't subscribe to that mentality. I think that it's just one of those things where they wouldn't be cracking down on it had they not been called out on it publicly, just like the steroid era. So I don't know. Like I don't know how to express this enough, but Major League Baseball does not care about its players. It cares about itself. It cares about its image. Baseball's always been that way. As much as I love this game, the owners they protect themselves, and this is just one of those things that they're continuing to do. And look, Manfred, the worst commissioner in sports history, is doing no justice with this. You're not going to suspend the Astros for cheating during the World Series, but you're going to suspend players.
Them immunity.
But you're going to suspend players 10 games for doing something you've allowed them to do their entire careers. I don't understand it. Tori, talk some sense into it. Like, I don't understand. Tell me I'm wrong.
You're not wrong, because there again, it's the severe double standard that baseball will do anything it can to save its own skin. Just like steroids, and we talked about that. The steroid era, they knew what was going on, but that was good because they were making money hand over fist with the McGuire Sosa home run chase and everything. Like, the ball was flying out of the park. Everybody wanted to see Bonds hit home runs. Bonds was hitting like a home run. Like, what was it? Like, the year he broke the record, it was like one every 6 at bats. That is ridiculous.
Yeah.
That should not be legal.
No,
that is crazy,
insane.
dude.
Actually,
it
wasn't.
It was
illegal the way he was doing it.
Right. And it wasn't it really wasn't once every 6 at bats, but it was under 10. Like, it was still every
1 out of every 10 at bats.
1 out of every 10 at bats.
God.
But how fun was it to watch that? How much fun was it to watch? The guy took. I remember the guy took a week off when he lost his dad. And he comes back on Sunday Night Baseball. He's on the bench. He's not starting. They're down by 2 in the 9th inning. He comes up with a runner on first and second. And on the first pitch, he hits a 3-run home run. The guy was phenomenal. The most clutch player I've ever seen. The best defender I've ever seen. The best hitter I've ever seen. The best baseball player to ever step on the field. And now he's held out of the Hall of Fame.
I love
and
Bonds,
now he can't even get in the Hall of Fame.
No, Trevor Bauer is the best baseball player of all time. Go ahead.
Shut up.
Tori.
That's it.
Tori. Go ahead, Tori.
He's getting. Yeah, I muted him. Brandon kicked him. So my thing is
we're talking baseball. Come back in 10 minutes.
Right. we are having a complete different discussion if Griffey never gets hurt. Griffey, I think the thing is if Griffey never got hurt.
You know why Griffey got hurt? You know why Griffey got hurt? Because
he
they started
didn't do
testing for
roids.
steroids? No,
No,
because
'cause
they
he-
started testing for steroids. That's why he got hurt. That's why he started gaining all that weight. By the end of his career, he was falling asleep in the White Sox dugout. So I don't want to
Hashtag
hear.
facts on that one.
I don't want to hear Griffey was not using steroids, because he definitely. Everybody in Major League Baseball at that time was using steroids. The great
No.
Cal Ripken played 3,000 some 100 odd straight games and set the record because he was using steroids. The human growth hormone, the stuff that they were using, was helping them get through injuries. And I completely understand it. I'm completely okay with it. Why is this such a huge problem for these baseball writers that they're going to stop these guys from getting in the Hall of Fame when they're some of the best players that have ever stepped on the field? And now we've got pitchers like Max Scherzer, who is probably the most intimidating pitcher that I've ever seen step on a mound. Has some of the best stuff I've ever seen. We've got a Aroldis
Bauer.
Chapman throwing 103 mile per hour fastballs to end games, but now we're going to crack down on the sticky stuff, and now guys are going to start getting hit in the head. And now we're going to have managers playing games like Joe Girardi did with Max Scherzer the other night and say, hey, I want you to check him again. I've never seen him scratch his head like that. Well, you know what? I've never seen you sit on your ass the way you do in Philadelphia, and that's probably why you guys haven't been to the playoffs since you signed Bryce Harper.
I loved how Joe Girardi would come out of the dugout and stand on that top step and
I love how
Cross his arms,
Scherzer
just
stared him
look.
down the entire way to the dugout. I love he starts dropping chow. He's like, "What do you want to check?" I got nothing. I got nothing. He did everything. He
Dude,
was hilarious.
when he
the
took
other
off
night.
his hat and he was like, feel my head, just joking around, and the ump like ran his fingers through his hair. It was like, dude, that's so weird.
The ump checked him because he was asked to check him by Joe Girardi. Girardi
Right,
says
but I
he's
thought-
rubbing
I
his
thought-
head. He's got something in his hair. Yes, it's called sweat, which would actually make him lose grip, Joe Girardi. You idiot.
So I thought they were only allowed to check starting pitchers twice.
Yeah, me too.
Unless the manager asks. Now, there's also something that in this rule that Major League Baseball sent out when they said they were going to start checking. They said if a manager requests for a player to be checked and it's found that you don't have probable cause to check him, then you're going to be suspended as well, the manager. Now,
No,
that's probably why Girardi said, I've never seen him scratch his head like that, because that's an asinine, stupid statement to make. It was clear the guy was dealing, and you didn't like it. And so you wanted to screw up his rhythm, and you wanted to talk to him about it, and you wanted them to go out there and slow him down. It didn't work, Joe Girardi. You can't
Right.
do that stuff and then lose the game. You can't.
No, it's like I said,
Here's-
because
here's what I
they
propose,
need
though.
to enforce it. They need to enforce it though, because otherwise, managers, you know as well as I do,
Enforce
managers will
what?
use it.
They're not doing it till after the inning, though, Tori. Enforce
Yeah,
what?
but still-
so if I'm down by
It's
one
still-
run in the
it's-
ninth
it's
inning,
still a stall.
if
It's
I'm
a
down,
stall technique.
but if I'm
They're
down by
gonna
one
use
run
it.
in the ninth inning and Craig Kimbrell comes out and shuts my lineup down, and then after the inning you go and check his glove and find there was a foreign substance, I still lost the game by one run because you don't check him until after the inning is over.
Yeah.
It's dumb. The whole thing is a farce. The whole thing is just baseball covering their behinds to go ahead and not and for people to stop calling them out because they let the players do it.
I'm really glad
Here-
you used the word farce because I thought you were going a completely different direction with that.
Wyatt, what's your proposal?
Here is my proposal, and it's kind of like how I'm copying the NFL on this one.
It doesn't matter what your proposal is because you don't know anything about baseball.
Tori, you don't
If a
mute people on
manager-
the show. I do.
If a manager wants to check randomly on a player, then shouldn't there be some kind of a penalty? Like, for example, if you challenge in football and it doesn't come out, you lose a timeout. Say in baseball, if you want to challenge the opposing pitcher and he has nothing, say you get an out thrown on the board. I think that's fair.
But
You lose an out. I think
sure,
it's very fair.
sure. It's kind of like, the losing a challenge thing. You lose a timeout, that type of
Right,
stuff.
right.
That's great. But again, what if you don't challenge? Okay, and then
Oh,
after
sure. No,
the
I'm
inning
just
is
saying
over,
if we're going to keep the
they get
challenging, that's what I
checked.
propose.
What stops a team from losing a game if you don't check until after the inning is over? The whole thing stinks. The whole thing is stupid. Baseball just needs to absolutely positively move on from that. And speaking of moving on, we're going to move on here So Jack Mills, who's Baker Mayfield's agent, says that they are working on a new contract for Mayfield. Will Baker be the highest paid quarterback in the NFL?
Yes.
Tori?
I think so. Just because the way that things are constructed with the NFLPA and with everything like that, they are going to make him the highest paid quarterback. Because guess what? So when somebody else comes around next year and they're like, yep, you're now the highest paid quarterback in NFL history. That's how salaries rise. So they're going to be like, hey, Baker's the top 5 quarterback in this league. Look at his stats from last year, da-da-da-da-da. He's going to end up with I don't know if he's going to end up with the 10-year, $500 million contract that Patrick Mahomes got, but he will come up with something similar that his per year average is above whatever Mahomes is making, guaranteed.
Why?
See, and here's the deal: if Dak Prescott is able to be the highest paid quarterback in the NFL, then of course Baker's going to get a shot at it. I mean, they don't pay, the highest paid player per position has nothing to do with how good you are at this point. Because if that was the case, then Tom Brady should have been the highest paid quarterback always and never was. And Patrick Mahomes should be the highest paid quarterback, right now, and he's not. So, of course, they're most like what Tori said, of course they're going to give Baker all the money. And I'm not taking anything away from Baker because I think Baker has a big breakout year this year. I think Baker's going to be a great quarterback this year, a top 5 quarterback this year, maybe even higher. But at the end of the day, if Dak Prescott is eligible with a shattered leg and hasn't played a full season, if he deserves to be the highest paid quarterback, then of course Baker deserves a shot at it. Absolutely.
Well,
yeah, I don't think he'll be the highest paid quarterback. Yeah, I don't think he'll be the highest paid quarterback just because I believe that Aaron Rodgers is going to get a deal that's going to make him the highest paid quarterback because he's Aaron Rodgers. At this point, it's held on for so long that it might be back in Green Bay. I'm not going to lie. It's been so long that I don't think that they're going to hold on. They might call his bluff, and I don't know.
How does it taste?
The taste in my mouth is fine. It doesn't bother me at all. We've got my boy, which Michelle wanted to show the helmet.
Oh, my.
We've got my boy,
No.
Justin Fields.
Get it right.
Coming in.
She said, show them my helmet.
I know. She thinks she's taking it. She wants to put it right next to the She stole my Urlacher. I've got an autographed Urlacher Bears helmet. She stole it, and it has to stay in her bedroom next to the bed where I also have an autographed photo of Urlacher
the guy who got juked out by Tom Brady?
To the bed. She loves Brian Urlacher. Loves Brian. You go after Brian Urlacher, that's fine. But I'm telling you right now, I'll give Michelle your address, and you can deal with her.
I love how every time you get within 20 miles of Chicago, you see those billboards like, want your hair back? And you see like Brian Urlacher bald, and you see him with hair now. It's like, use
Brian
this
Urlacher
Rogaine.
with hair is just not right.
It's so weird.
Who is it? I know who Brain Urlacher is, but
oh Jesus, shut up, Tori.
I just think it's funny. As soon as you pass Gary, Indiana, because that's how we got to go through Gary from where we're from to get to Chicago. As soon as you go over top of Gary on the interstate, you start seeing the billboards. They're everywhere. Brian Urlacher, how to get your hair back. And it shows Brian with a big old smile on his face and a big old full head of hair. And it's like, what? Weren't you just bald 3 years ago?
Yeah.
What just happened?
Yeah, so let's get back on track here. Baker Mayfield, he's set to make $920,000 this season. Now, I don't know if Baker Mayfield is going to be the highest paid quarterback, but he definitely deserves to be paid more than $920,000. That's for sure. The Browns still have a steal on their hands. I think that he'll be in the top 5, but I think that come this free agent class, I think he'll fall out of that top 5. I think that Dak will get paid higher. I think Aaron Rodgers will get paid higher at some point. Obviously, there's no way he gets Patty Mahomes money. No way. It's just not. He's not going to get paid more than Patty Mahomes. If you give him more money than they gave Patrick Mahomes, then the Browns might as well just go ahead and just chalk up the rest of their franchise and just give it to Baker Mayfield, because that would just be ass. Look, I love Baker Mayfield. I think he's going to do great things in the NFL, but he is not top 3 quarterback in the league, he should not be paid like a top 3 quarterback in the league.
I think they should actually watch themselves too, because
Why?
they've got a lot of stars on that roster. Miles Garrett is coming up to get a big paycheck. OBJ is going to get a big paycheck. Jarvis Landry. They got a lot of big names on that team that are going to want a lot of money at the end of their rookie contract.
They're going to handcuff themselves if they make him the highest paid quarterback in the league. Tori, why do you think he's going to be the highest paid player in the league?
Because NFLPA will be like, you need to get every penny. So like when Aaron Rodgers signed his deal last time, he signed that extension. He was the highest paid quarterback in the league for 1 week. Because then Matt Ryan signed a deal after that outpaced Aaron Rodgers.
Here, let me shed a tear for Aaron Rodgers.
No, and I'm not, but I'm saying it's just the way that it is, because that's how they keep getting the salary cap bumped and bumped and bumped. They will demand every single penny. So if they can convince the Cleveland Browns that Baker Mayfield is going to be the face of your franchise and be an MVP type quarterback every single year for the next 12 years, and you should pay him $40 million a year, he's going to get it. And that's just the way it is with the league. And that's why you see like some positions get undervalued and some positions get way overvalued. And the quarterback position is one of those positions that will always be overvalued no matter what.
All right, since you guys want to talk highly.
Drew Brees took up almost 30% of the New Orleans Saints salary cap himself.
Yeah, and stole their money for the last 2 years because he wasn't even the best quarterback on the roster last season. Anyway. You guys want to talk about Aaron Rodgers? Let's talk about Aaron Rodgers. A poll came out saying that he and Davante Adams are the best wide receiver quarterback combination in the league. Most dynamic. So, God, I know this is going to be a horrible. Like, I'm going to have to listen to you two idiots ramble about how they're the best.
How are they not? Right. I want to hear out of your mouth right now how they're not.
Go.
Okay.
Go. No, you tell me first that they are.
If Aaron Rodgers is in a Green Bay Packers uniform, I promise you him and Davante Adams will be the best duo in the league. If you saw it the last 2 years, you would know as well. I promise you the duo is insane. Now, here's the deal. If they're not linked up and Aaron does end up leaving for whenever that comes, then yes, I do agree it will be Patrick Mahomes and Tyreek Hill. Maybe even Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce. I think that's a good viable option as well. Another good one, Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs. That's a really good duo that could have a lot of potential this year. But if Aaron is still in Green Bay, after looking at what happened last year, Aaron Rodgers was the best quarterback in the league last year. And even through an injury setting him back, 3 or 4 weeks, Davante Adams statistically, and if you watched him play on the field, he was the best wide receiver in the NFL. And he missed a couple of games as well, and still was statistically the best wide receiver in the league last year, and Aaron was the best quarterback in the league last year. It's why he got the MVP. So that is my 2 reasons right there. It's an incredible duo, and anybody who disagrees with it is probably a Bears fan, like the one I'm looking at right now.
So, and this is my thing saying that why they are. Aaron has thrown 53 touchdowns to Davante Adams. Davante Adams has 522 career catches. Over 1 in every 10 catch he gets from Aaron Rodgers results in a touchdown. That is almost ridiculous stat-wise. So, are they the most exciting duo? Absolutely. Before that, 2 years ago, it was Michael Thomas and Drew Brees. And Aaron Rodgers and Davante Adams took that mantle over last year. And there again, 100% of this depends on if Aaron decides he's going to come back and play in Green Bay this year, if that continues. So I also think that also determines whether or not Davante Adams resigns after this year, since he is a free agent after this year as well.
God, I hope
I've actually got 3 quarterback wide receiver duos ahead of them.
Stop it.
I've got Patty Mahomes and Tyreek Hill. I will take Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs.
Okay.
You got a problem with that one, Wyatt?
Not necessarily that one, because I think they're going to be a good duo. I think that actually, since I mentioned that earlier, I think that actually is the second best duo in the league, is Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs.
And I'll take Kyler Murray and DeAndre Hopkins.
Get out of here. The two of those that you just named have only been playing together 1 year.
Okay. The duo you're fighting so hard for might not even be playing together this year.
I get that.
Oh well, you're backpedaling like you're stuttering like Buck.
No,
Buck's not even on the show. And
I
come on.
see, but that's where you're wrong because the stats back up what it currently stands at. The stats are there, and you can't argue the stats as much as you want to. They are there. They were the most dangerous combination in the NFL last year. Devontae Adams, anytime he was on the field with Aaron Rodgers, was a threat to take it to the house. Hell, he was injured for 3 games. He was still more of a threat to take it for a touchdown than Tyreek Hill.
Anyway, we're going to get away from these two idiots, and we're going to go to a break. And then when we come back from break, we are going to welcome on a special guest. Luke G from Luke G's Field Review is going to join us to talk about his Detroit Lions. God, all 3 of us are going to feast on this one. We'll be back.
ManHourRadio.com.
God, he's really got to do something about that video. That dang thing sticks. And it doesn't even use proper grammar. It says "we back." Man, what the apostrophe RE, son? We're back. Anyway.
We back sounds doper, man. We back.
We back.
We
Anyway.
new school, not old school.
Anyway.
Grammar's for chumps.
Jeez,
Bears
Crow.
fans.
I'm from
We're back,
special school.
guys. We've talked baseball, we've talked hockey, we've talked football. We're going to play everybody's favorite game, Would You Rather, and we're going to talk some more sports headlines. But first, we've got a very special guest joining us, so let me bring the boys back on here. Press the button. There it goes. And they're
Technology difficult.
And without further ado, we had Luke G from Luke G's Field Review. Luke, what's going on, buddy?
What's going on, fellas? I'm so excited to be on here. Especially when you said that this is going to be fun. Y'all going to feast on this. I said, oh, let the games begin.
You know what's funny, Luke, is I said that, and then while we were on break, I looked here in the private chat, and you were following along with that last conversation we had. Why don't you tell the boys who you said you think is better than A-Rod and Adams?
Well, first of all, 100%, I think Mahomes and Kelsey is a better tandem than them, just by virtue that he's more reliable and he's been the go-to guy. I also would have taken Tom Brady and Mike Evans over that tandem of A-Rod and Adams. Those two synced up last year. If you weren't paying attention, yes, I know it was only 1 year, but it's going to be 2. And that 1 year, there was no answer for those passes and how things were going in the connection. With Devontae Adams and A-Rod, you need for a perfect storm to work in a lot of those cases, i.e., going against a rookie cornerback, and then you looks great. But let's be honest, I think Mike Evans and Tom Brady had a better connection than them, and I could think of a few other people. I actually agree. So I can't believe I'm saying this, but I actually agree with the Kyler Murray and DeAndre Hopkins. That's a better.
Oh,
tandem.
so he agrees with Combs.
You're on crack.
You agree
You're
with
on crack.
Combs.
I do. You got to understand, if you just look at what that tandem did when there was the off schedule plays, their connection was ungodly. It was unnatural at how good they were on reading each other and getting into like the rhythm with each other. So
I've got them at 16-1 this year, Luke G. I think this team's for real, man.
Who you got at 16-1?
The Arizona Cardinals.
That you say I'm on crack.
That defense is nasty. That offense is nasty. I mean, you added JJ Watt to that defense.
My name
mean,
is Brandon, and I make stupid statements.
Half the people.
Yeah, I make stupid statements, Tori. You got the Washington not Redskins anymore at 13-4.
13-4.
13.
That is more reasonable than the Cardinals going 16.
Luke, I promise you, man, I won't say anything crazy like that, dude. I promise.
Are you the only sober one here? What the hell?
I think
is
so.
going on?
I think that's what it
Probably
is.
He's not
Tori
only- he's not-
Tori
he's
had a
not-
bunch of scotch before he got on here.
legally old
And
enough to
he's
drink.
the only one that's not
That's
old
true.
enough to drink.
That's true. I'm the only sober one on the show 24/7. Everybody else is just whack saying crazy
I
stuff.
mean, we got one going 16-1. That's got to be shrooms. The other one 13-4. That's got to be lean. Either way,
That's
goes,
meth.
It's got to be something. It's like, come on, man. Let's talk about it. I see Bo Gary's in the building. Shout out to him. But yeah. Oh, that's a cute little teddy bear back there. That is so cute. Oh. I'm gonna leave it alone. Go ahead. Go Combs.
How you like this one, Luke? How you like that one? That Justin Fields, baby.
That is nice. That is very, very nice. Is he going to play this year?
He's going to start week 1. You didn't hear. You heard it here first. He's starting week 1.
Luke was watching that night that you were talking all crazy.
Oh yeah, he clearly lost his mind if he thinks that he's starting week 1. That guy.
Why wouldn't you start him? Oh, Luke.
Andy Dalton's
We're
your
about to
quarterback.
have a come to Jesus moment, Luke.
Listen, I didn't say it. Your smart head coach said it. You traded up to get the guy. I think he should have started week 1, but they're going to start Andy Dalton.
First of all, I'm like all of the people who hated Trump before, and I'm like all the people who hate Biden now. He ain't my coach. he ain't my head coach. Look, this man is saying that there's no way that Justin Fields gets a starting nod over the Red Rifle. There's no way that he's gonna come in here and beat
Red
Dalton.
Rider.
He's what he is. He's a red rocket, is what he is. He's a little puppy's red rocket. That's what this kid is. Anyway, if you're not gonna let Justin Fields come in and compete, you're going to lose your locker room because he's going to show you in the preseason. He's going to show you through training camp that he is your better quarterback. So if you don't start your better quarterback and you go into week 2 or week 3 at 0-3, you are losing your locker room. It's the quickest way to lose your locker room. The players know who the better player is. The players will know that heading in. So if Justin Fields goes in to training camp, goes into the preseason, and just outperforms Andy Dalton, and you don't start him week 1, you will not be the head coach past week 8 of this season.
I don't think he's going to be the head coach after this season, period. And that's why I don't know why they want to allow him to trade future assets to move up to get this quarterback and then turn around and have to hire a new head coach to take over. It doesn't make sense. And so once you do that, you set yourself up in a position to where not only are you not getting the best out of your team, but you're right. You're losing the locker room. You're alienating people who want the guy that they believe give them the best chance to win. And yes, he's going to do it because that's what Matt Nagy does. He does what Matt Nagy wants to. And instead of allowing his offensive coordinator to call the plays, he's going to be the one to do it. and he's
I
going to
just
do
think
it.
he's taking. I think he's taking the spotlight right now off of Justin Fields because if you say yes, he can compete. All he's going to have is questions every single week about how is Justin Fields competing versus Andy Dalton. All Justin Fields is going to face is the pressure to outperform Andy Dalton. He's given Justin Fields the room to say, hey, you know what? I'm just going to go out there and play. I know I'm not starting, and then come week 1, he's going to be the starting quarterback. There's going to be a change of the guard. This isn't the, like I said the other night, this isn't like, Alex Smith and Patrick Mahomes. Alex Smith was a number 1 quarterback on a winning team that was going to the playoffs 4 years in a row. This isn't that. Andy Dalton's been on the team for 35 seconds. It's not like you're replacing a guy who's been your number 1 starter. You don't have any allegiance to Andy Dalton. There is zero reason why you don't start Justin Fields week 1. But we are not here to talk about the Bears. We'll talk about the Bears here in just a moment. I'm not sure how that mic got muted, but I will go ahead and he muted himself. But at any rate,
I'm still here.
We're here to talk about the Lions, and the Lions are, to me, Buck's got them winning the division at 10-7. Out of all the crazy takes that we have, I think that might be the craziest. So I want to know from you, Luke, what are you thinking about your Lions this year?
I got them between 8 and 10 wins, and I don't think that 10-7 is out of the ram. If you be realistically think about it, and so when you're talking about the Lions and how I see this, it's because of a number of reasons. For example, you got week 1 against the 49ers, right? And the 49ers have zero film on the Lions, but the Lions have all the film on the 49ers. That's one thing. The second thing is the 49ers got to travel from the West Coast to the East Coast, and they plan at 1 p.m. That's crappy. That's in our favor. Here's the number 1 reason why I look at another game for us to win, like the 49er game, is because this the first time everything in Michigan has been opened up, and that's the first football game where we have 100% capacity. Nobody
Come
gets
on
drunk.
now, Luke.
Nobody gets
now,
drunk
Luke.
like the Lions.
You guys don't get 100% capacity in Detroit unless the other team's fans help you fill that stadium.
Now, I know that this is hard for you since they're going to implode your stadium soon and move you out of where you are.
I'm so happy about that, Luke. I'm so happy about that.
I get it, but don't let that bitterness get in the way of real knowledge in football. You see, we somehow seem to sell out even in a losing effort. So just putting it out there.
That was because you had Matt Stafford on your roster. Now you've got Jared Goff, and that's going to be the reason why you guys go 2-15 this year.
Luke G, man.
Luke G.
What was your guys' record last year? Was it 6-10, right?
5-11.
5-11. Okay, I knew it was somewhere around there. You guys lost. You guys got worse at quarterback. You guys got worse at wide receiver.
Mm-hmm.
The defense didn't really improve much at all.
Okay, well let me walk you down this road. I'm gonna get you already done.
They got a new coach. We're gonna hear about the new coach.
Oh no, you're gonna hear facts. Let's go down the road. I see we got a Packer fan and a Bear fan. I know y'all trying to boost y'all morale. Let me help y'all. I know you said because Aaron Rodgers don't want no more parts of the cheese heads. Okay, so we gonna help you get there. First things first, you have to understand we did not get worse at quarterback. What we did is we found a quarterback. I'm finna explain. What we did was we found a quarterback that is going to be allowed to do what he did when he went to the Super Bowl, which is just manage the game. The same thing that put Troy Aikman into the Hall of Fame is what they're going to do with him. To have him turn around, hand the ball off, and don't hurt the team. The same thing that the Cowboys do with Dak Prescott. Stay with me now. Don't want you losing this. Secondly, the receiver court. You're right. You want to say it got worse? That's your opinion. But in 1991, the Detroit Lions went to the NFC Championship with a backup quarterback and this same ragtag group of receivers. In fact, Mr. Bashar Perriman's father, who had been dumped from 2 different teams, joined the Lions that year, balled out for us.
How does 1991 have anything to do with 2021 and Jared Goff?
Because 1991, the reason we succeeded with that backup quarterback was because we had a run game from a guy named Barry Sanders. And no, we don't have a Barry Sanders on the team now, but we do have a run game. And if anybody knows that, it should be the Packer fan over there. Who
Are you
knows
talking about that run game with that guy who dropped that wide open pass against the Bears last year and cost them a win?
Yes,
DeAndre Swift.
Yes.
Well,
yeah,
hold on.
yeah.
I got to vouch for Swift, though. After that,
Like-
Swift was all uphill after that. Swift had a really good ending to the season.
Thank you for being honest. I know that the Bear fan is having a hard time seeing how they,
No,
they gotta
look.
He's still in
DeAndre Swift is
hibernation right
nice.
now. He's still in
DeAndre
hibernation.
Swift is nice, but
You mentioned. Go ahead, Combs.
But you're missing the point of you got worse on the wide receiver core. You got worse at quarterback. How is that going to? That's only going to make your run game worse because you're not going to have anything that the other team has a game plan for other than your running back.
Oh, okay. So this thing where we have an offensive line, we just gonna ignore that. This thing that y'all are trying to build over there.
Line.
Oh,
The
you
That
don't?
offensive line that caused Matt Stafford to have like 3 broken backs in the last 4 years.
Oh, that offensive line. Yeah, you're right. The one that literally had just the left side. Now we got a right. Oh, that is improved. The guy who's on the right that was hurt now gets moved over to the guard. Let's keep going though. Let's keep going. That defense you talk about, it was horrible, right? Historically bad. It was so
Still
bad
bad.
that it was worse than a team that went 0-16. However, they still won 5 games and was managed to beat 9 out of those 11
Because
losses.
Matt Stafford was your quarterback and you could move the ball.
No quarterback wins a game by himself. Go ask Patrick Mahomes what happened to him.
Well,
when he
that's
couldn't sit
true,
upright.
but also
Tom
you had
Brady?
Kenny Galladay, a top
Tom
wide
Brady
receiver,
didn't win
and Marvin
last year.
Jones.
Yeah, but Kenny Galladay wasn't a loss. We didn't lose anything in Kenny Galladay. We
Kenny
didn't.
Galladay misses.
He's
Kenny Galladay misses half a season every year.
And he only played 5 games last year. So let's be honest.
He's still great when he's on the field. He's better than
Oh,
not
here we go
having
with
him.
great. Here we go
when
with
he's
great.
on the field.
Wyatt calls everybody Luke. Just so you know,
Combs,
the Packers
you said
have,
that they added a. You said the Giants
Packers
added a
have-
great option in Kenny Galladay the other day. You said that.
The Packers have no, I didn't. The Packers have
You did
6 great
2
wide
days ago.
receivers because everybody's great, and now he's calling Kenny Galladay great. Look, he just uses the word great, so you have to excuse my man Wyatt because he just doesn't understand vocabulary.
But
He's still in 4th grade.
I mean, listen, you got to listen. Let's be
He
honest.
almost missed a show today because of detention. By the way,
Wow. Okay.
It was close.
Listen, I can tell you this much. When you go through and you look at most of the teams, and this is not just me, this is in general across the NFL as a whole, teams with a top receiver generally do not win Super Bowls, let alone often get to championships. This is a fact. Go through and look at all the top teams who have won a Super Bowl. They have not always had a top receiver. Even when you go through and you look at
the 49ers with Jerry Rice, the Dallas Cowboys
Oh,
with Michael
wait, hold
Irvin.
on. So I love how you
Last
did that.
year with Mike
Hold on.
Evans, Chris
Hold on.
Godwin. The year before that, Tyreek Hill,
Yeah.
Travis Kelce with Patrick Mahomes.
No, and I'm finna correct y'all both. Now earlier he said that what does 91 got to do with 2021? But yeah, he going back to Jerry Rice. I love how you.
I'm
I
going
love
through
when it's
Super Bowl.
convenient.
I
winners,
used the
and I'm
last 2
telling you,
years.
When it's convenient for you, you use it. Combs. I see how you get it in.
I was working my way up to
convenient.
more names.
It's
I was
convenient.
working
Let
my
me-
way up
let
to
me-
more
let me
names.
help you, though. Hold on, let me help
Your
you.
boy
Hold on.
Bo comes in and says just a spot to put the trophy. Look, Tom Brady's daughter has touched the trophy more times than the Lions have won playoff games in the last 40 years. So don't talk to me about trophies,
That
Bo.
may be true, but let's talk about this though right here. When you go through and you look at it, even in the case of Tom Brady, the team that they played
Randy
on
Moss.
the Bucs, Randy Moss didn't win a Super Bowl.
No, they went 16-0 and lost the Super
that's
Bowl
right.
to the
They
Giants.
lost that year in the Super Bowl.
But the team that the Buccaneers had was more of a factor than a feature top receiver. And when you go back to the Kansas City Chiefs, they didn't have a top receiver. In fact, their number 1 target was a tight end. So, and they got there by running the ball throughout the playoffs. Facts. Not me making this up. Facts. Go back a little bit further. If you go back and look at Super Bowl winning top receivers in the league, those top perennial Hall of Fame.
Yep.
They're not winning Super Bowls. They're just
All
not.
right, Bo.
Calvin Johnson
So-
didn't win.
You've given us all the reasons they're going to win and all the reasons that they're good. Give me a reason that's going to hold them back. What are the weak spots for the Detroit Lions?
The weak spots for the Detroit Lions are the linebackers and the safeties. The biggest spot is the safety, though. You got Tracy Walker, and after that, it's a toss-up. Like, I don't know who we're going to go afterwards. The only thing is Patricia's scheme was so horrible that it's hard for me to judge what this team was. Like, I don't know if Will Harris sucks as a real safety or if it was just a terrible scheme. And
Yeah.
I know that Tracy Walker was a good player before Patricia, but you took a guy who plays free safety and put him in the box, and the guy who's supposed to be in the box and you put him at free safety. you're an idiot and you're supposed to be a rocket scientist. You couldn't change gas in your own vehicle. It's ridiculous. And so, to me, the biggest weakness is that safety spot. But the benefit of what the Lions did is this: they're not pressed to go out and make big moves to get it because they know that people got to cut their roster down, and when they do that, they'll add their talent through that process. That's the only weakness I see. Everything else for them is a intangible known that makes it harder for their opponents to get to do like anything against. So, like I said, time zones on when they play, who they play, and stuff like that, that all matters. But the Lions on every front are in position to do the exact same thing that the Cleveland Browns did, where they went 6-10 in 2019, and then in 2020 went 11-5. They're in that same position.
So what's your overall record for the Detroit Lions?
I got them between 8 and 10. I think between 8 and 10. If I'm pushing it, I'm a betting man. I'll say 9 and 8.
Okay, do you have them winning this division? It's going to be a tough year for the entire division.
I do not have them winning the division. I have the Vikings winning the division. I have the Lions finishing. Yeah, I have the Vikings winning the division. The thing is they revamped their defensive line. They
is
still,
that if Aaron Rodgers is gone, or
no?
Is that even if he plays?
That's with Aaron Rodgers playing. Believe it or not, the Packers haven't really been killing the division like that. They've been the benefactors of poor officiating that set them up to get wins.
Oh my God!
My word,
Luke G, don't say that.
Are we going to deny this?
Yes.
Are we going to deny this?
I love it.
So hold on, we're going to deny this. We literally can go to a game where they said that there was hands to the face on a Lions player where it was clearly not on his damn face at all, not close. And yet they called it. Let's go down to another factor.
Are you talking about the Hail Mary game?
No, he's talking about Trey Flowers and David Bakhtiari.
Now the Hail Mary game,
last
I was
year
at that game. That was my end zone. I was right there in the front. I saw that they just
did. You guys make the playoffs that year? Would it have even mattered if you'd have won that?
Well, it doesn't matter in a lot of cases on
they
that.
Would have beat the Packers
because the Lions.
Let's give the Lions that win. We'd have still been 12-4 that year and would have been number 2 seed in the NFC.
Well, we got cheated twice against y'all. So what do we can go down this list.
Then we'd have been 11-5. We'd have still made the playoffs.
That's fine. I didn't say y'all wasn't gonna make the playoffs. What I said is y'all have been the benefactors of being able to get the right officiating calls to go y'all way for y'all to benefit. They know the NFL know what they're doing.
Tell that about the Hail Mary game.
Okay, well let's talk about the Hail Mary. I was there. I was at the game. By that end zone.
No, not the Hail Mary, the Fail Mary against the Seahawks. When the Packer defender, when MD Jennings intercepted the ball and had control, and they said the other player had it for a touchdown.
You want to go way back.
So you're like a Cowboys fan whining about Dez caught it. Get the hell out of here.
No, it's like. Listen, the reality is this: the officiating in the NFL has been bad and it's been slanted, and we know this. This is nothing that we can make up. I mean, I've seen
Brady win Super Bowls.
I mean, listen, we've seen it. We've seen it from the Tuck rule. There's a lot of different ones. The Daz Bryant catch was a catch. I mean, it's a lot of things that you can look at.
You know what else is a catch, Luke? And I'll give you this one.
Calvin Johnson
caught it.
Yeah, I know. You ain't got to tell me. They admitted it afterwards and said, "Oh, sorry," but who cares?
He literally used the ball to stand up. Like he wasn't even like dropping it. He was using the ball to stand himself back up off the ground after he was done catching the ball.
Go more recent. The game-winning touchdown by Golden Tate against the Falcons that they said that he was down.
Yeah. Yeah,
and he clearly was in the end zone. So but that right there is Lions history coming back to bite them in the butt. You have to remove the Lions. Like for example, if you look at the Green Bay Packers, they're only beating the Lions by like less than a possession. It's not even a full possession. It's like 1 point.
They are tight games. I will give you that.
1 point, maybe 4.
How many times have they won at Lambeau Field in the last 29 years?
Yeah, but if you want to do 29 years, I mean, how many pounds were you weighing 29 years ago? That's like a ridiculous question. 29 years? Come on, man.
It's still they're 1-28. They're 1-28 at Lambeau Field in the last 29 years.
That's not true.
That is true. That is true. Luke,
that's
look it up.
True.
I will tell you right now, it is true.
That's not true. In the last 29 years, 1-28. No. Without me even looking it up, I can tell you that's not true. I can 100% tell you.
All right, buddy, what do you want to bet on it?
What do you want to bet? I'm feeling pretty confident about myself. What do you want to bet?
Let's put a bottle on it.
Okay. So show me where should you do you want me to go get this stat from that you want me to see?
I'm looking it up right now.
I am right now too.
So
I know because I know we've already beat the Packers more than twice within the last 5 years. So I know that this is not true. Okay. I'm just telling you the truth, but okay. You know, I'm telling you that stat is not accurate. Without me even having to look it up, it's not an accurate stat. And I'm 100% sure about it.
So who's the sleeper for the Detroit Lions while these yahoos look up that stat that I don't believe is true either?
In terms of the players?
Yeah, who's the sleeper on the team that nobody sees coming?
Derek Barnes, linebacker from Purdue. This dude right here is somebody that can play DN in a 4-3, somebody that can play inside linebacker in a 4-3, outside linebacker in a 4-3, toss it to a 3-4. He can play outside linebacker, inside linebacker. And if you really want to get sweet with it, you can put him in a nickel package and rush him. And I guarantee you he'll get home. He has all the same skill sets that people love about Michael Parsons and Devin White. It's just that he's in a smaller package. That's the guy I think that many people don't see coming, and it's a huge sleeper for the Detroit Lions. 100%.
Okay. So
They won. Didn't you guys? This says here you guys won at Lambeau and at home. And swept us in 2017, 2018.
I ain't got to tell y'all the truth. Like I said, I know it's already over 2 games within the last 5 years. But if you want to go with this one in whatever in 29 years, and hey, I'll take my bottle. I only bet when I can win, and this one I won. So
the Lions won at Lambeau in 2015, 2017, and 2018 alone.
Oh, they did.
Right there. Okay.
Yes, they did. I'm looking it up right now. They tied 100%. The season. The Packers beat in 2015. The Packers beat Detroit in Detroit, and then lost at Lambeau 18-16.
And most
in
recent
2017, the Lions swept the Packers, and in 2018, the Lions swept the Packers.
Just put it up there.
Bo, what are you drinking?
What side
Bo, what are you drinking?
2018 was the first time Packers have been shut out at Lambeau by the Detroit Lions.
31-0.
Yeah, 31-0.
So,
Tori, are you talking about between
just chimes in
2014 and
from
19? Between 2014 and
1991.
And yeah, in 1991, the Lions didn't win a single game at Lambeau, but they won at Lambeau in 2018, 2017, 2015.
In the most recent 3 years. Oh, I know my history.
Hey, Bo, hey, Luke, what are you drinking, bud? Because Tori knows you
say,
something.
what are you drinking? Because I'm sending something your way.
Listen, I'm a simple person. I don't ask for much. Just simple apple juice. That's it. Thank you.
Yeah. Do you want organic? Do you
Red's
want sugar?
apple ale.
You want light sugar?
Do a little bit of apple cider. I'm not that big on it. Just
I could wait till fall harvest to get you some like real good like the good apple cider.
I'm down for it. I'll hold you to it. I'm down for it. I just know my history.
I do got to move to Milwaukee, so I'm not going to be that far out of Detroit.
Hey, if you mail it, I'm gonna make sure I drink it and send you a photo with it in a nice, delicious glass with a donut to go with it. Trust me.
Oh, do you want an apple donut? I can get you a fresh apple donut to go with it.
See, listen, this is where love finds its soulmate and it comes together. Yes, I'll take that apple donut on top of it. Yes,
because Luke, we are pretty famous for that here, so I'm gonna hook you up.
Well, listen,
I am working on tickets for you for a Packer Lions Lambeau game.
Oh, that's good. Listen, if I can get that one, oh my God, I'm gonna go. That's the hardest ticket to get in like sports. I feel like.
Luke, Tori can hook you up with a lot of things, especially donuts, because Tori loves things with holes in it. So, Luke, man, it's always fun talking to you. Always fun 100%. Talking Lions with man. You know your stuff. What's up?
One question, Luke. Are you a Pistons fan as well?
I am a Pistons fan.
So what do you think about last question for you? What do you think about Cade Cunningham going to be a Piston now?
The fact that we have a media and fan base who thinks we should trade the pick just makes me want to puke. And I think that to me, Cade Cunningham is the closest thing to Kevin Durant that you're going to get. And I'm praying to God that our new general manager, who seems to be a savage, takes Cade Cunningham. 100%.
I can almost promise you, if they're there at that pick, they're going to take him.
Well, I mean, we're first overall. We're going to be at that pick. There's no trading it.
Just as long as they don't trade, I can promise you they're going to pick him.
The thing is, what if the Thunder comes in with one of their 85 picks and says, "Hey, we'll give you X, Y, Z, Q, P draft pick.
We'll give you all
for
85 for the number one."
Right?
Can I shoot the phone up? Can I burn it? I mean, there's nothing that you can offer me. The Pistons are notorious for being cheated out of getting that pick, and the fact that we're going to get it now with a player that I deem as close to Kevin Durant, and I'm a Kevin Durant fan. There's no way we're trading that pick. We haven't had that type of player since Grant Hill. Grant Hill was the last guy that we can consider superstar-ish in a way. And then if you go back before then, a little bit after that, when we went in 2004, you got Rasheed Wallace, who's supposed to be the missing piece for a superstar player for us. So,
how many championships did they win with Grant Hill?
0.
Oh, okay. Just wondering.
How many seasons did he miss because of injury? 7.
All right, Luke.
Y'all are silly. Y'all have a good one,
We'll talk
man.
at you. You want to tell the people where they can find you before you get out of here?
100%. Please come over to Luke G's Field Review. I talk all things Detroit Lions. You'll probably see the Man Hour on there because last time they was over there, I heard that the Red Rifle was the best quarterback in the league from Buck. Don't know what he was going through. But yeah, I'm on the Field Review. Basically, I do live shows. I literally do film study, especially when the season get going. I do film study, basically looking at what cost us the game and stuff. A lot of times it's not what they happen on the field. It's probably something else that we didn't see, a coaching decision. Maybe it's only 10 people in there. And for the most part, I keep everything pertaining to the Detroit Lions. You'll catch me probably bashing the bad journalism as well. So just come over there, have a good time with me, and get lifted.
Hey, the thing I love to do the most, especially with sports radio, because I love listening to sports radio, but I love listening to fan bases talk after their teams lose tough games. So I'm going to be listening to your show a lot because the Lions are going to lose a lot.
Well, even if we do lose a lot, it won't be to the Bears. I can tell you that.
All right.
I can tell you that.
We're going to put some bets on that one, too.
We can do that,
talk behind the scenes.
100%.
All right, Luke, man. It's always fun, man. Have a great night.
You too.
Appreciate you, buddy.
Later.
All right.
All right, guys. Always fun talking with our boy Luke. We're going to come back, and we are going to play Would You Rather. So stay with us. We will be right back.
Hey there, Mr. White T-shirt wearer dude. Mr. White shirt wearer dude. Do you wear the same shirt every day? Same shirt every day. Do you do the same thing every day? The same thing every day. Don't you worry, Mr. White shirt wearer dude. Now with Man Hour merch, you can spice up your style each and every day. From hats to beanies to shirts. We got you covered, Mr. White shirt wearer dude. Shop at manhourradio.com. T-shirts start as little as $15. Shop today.
Why, thank you, manhourradio.com, for this awesome merch. Hats, T-shirts, $15. You can't go wrong.
Pretty obvious in that one. Dak's coming back off. You got Tom Brady, and did I mention 22 starters coming back?
When I say Lamar Jackson is trash, I'm not saying he is the worst quarterback in the league, but he is definitely not the best quarterback in the league. When you say somebody is trash, it is based off the perception of the general public.
And welcome back, Man Hour. It is time to play the world infamous Would You Rather. This is a take off of, that game you play as a kid, hence the overlay there of Would You Rather, do this one, do that one, do this, do that, Just saying. Anyway, so guys, we've all seen the pictures by now of Kevin Durant's feet. They look like little hockey sticks that you play with in the yard when you're trying to play around with your brothers and play some little floor hockey. So I ask you guys this. Would you rather have KD's feet or Ben Simmons' free throw yips?
I will. God, I don't know. Both of them are ugly. Gosh, I would rather have KD's feet because maybe it would make me a better shooter than what I am now because I suck at basketball and clearly he did something right. So I'll take KD's feet because, dear God, I don't want Ben Simmons' free throw shooting. Oh, Lord, that's rough. Very rough.
Tori?
I don't even know what you're talking about with the Ben Simmons things I do, but
Oh
the
my
KD
God,
thing.
Google KD's feet. Just Google it right now. Right now,
All right,
while you
it's
are
nasty.
sitting right here,
It's
I want
very
you to Google
nasty.
KD's feet
we want
and
first
see this
real
image.
reaction
We
here.
are about to get raw reaction of Tori seeing Kevin Durant's feet. I'm telling you, they look like... Yeah, have you seen girls field hockey?
No.
That's what these feet look like. A girls field hockey stick. They are horrendous.
Did an elephant step on his feet?
Right. Seriously. They look like, I just looked it up too to see it again. Like, they look genuinely like a hockey stick. Seriously, his leg
Yes.
to his feet looks like a hockey stick. It's so weird.
So
No,
Tori,
it looks like somebody stepped on his feet and it's just like
yeah, like a
it
cartoon
just squished
character,
them.
right? Or
We
like
better
a
be
clown.
careful. His mom's going to come after us, man. Did you see her go after PJ Tucker when they started fighting on the court?
So would you rather have KD's feet or would you rather have Ben Simmons' free throw yips?
I would rather have KD's feet because that means I would get his contract and his abilities and everything else. Because I watched him almost single-handedly take the Bucks out of the playoffs.
No, see,
And
that wasn't part of
you
the
guys-
deal. That wasn't part of the deal. You get his feet. You don't get any of the other stuff. You
Well, but there
you
again,
get those
still
clown.
give
You get those clown ass feet with that clown ass face that you have right now, and that's all
Give
that
him-
you get.
Give me his feet because guess what? You can cover your feet. Like I always wear socks the way it is. So
Oh,
my
your feet
are
look
always
just
covered.
as freaking skinny. What are you messing with his feet for? Your feet are like a half an inch wide. What is going on there?
No, they're not.
You showed your feet, and they were like they're paper thin. Oh my God! I would rather have... Put your feet down. Oh my God!
There's some people that would pay.
This show's
there's
going
some
off
good-
the rails right
There's some
now.
people that would pay good money to see my feet.
There's some people that have puked and logged off of this show. Anyway, I would rather have Ben Simmons' free throw yips because them feet are freaking hideous. And no wonder why you'd rather have the feet because you already have them, Tori.
No, I don't.
Oh my God. Moving on.
I'm gonna
Oh,
show it to you when I
man.
kick you in the balls when I see you in Milwaukee.
So some of the things that go on in baseball are a whole lot of fun. So you've got guys who can hit a lot of home runs, and you've got guys that can hit a lot of dramatic home runs. So we talked about how clutch Barry Bonds was. So I ask you this: would you rather have a 4 home run game, or would you rather hit a walk off on a holiday?
Man,
Do we get to pick the holiday?
Yeah, do we get to
No,
pick the holiday?
Any holiday. Yeah. I mean, sure, if you want to pick the holiday, go ahead.
Well, give me the. Well, yeah. If I get to pick the holiday, you got to do it. You got to do it just like Billy Hall did for the Brewers all them years ago. The walk off home run Mother's Day Pink Bat Day was one of the most
Javi
dramatic
Baez
things.
did the same thing.
Yeah, nobody cares about them though. So
The year they won the World Series.
yeah, that didn't really happen.
They walked
Prove
off
it.
on Mother's Day and Father's Day that year.
They did. That is also very
Yeah.
true. So I would do it, and I would want to do it on Mother's Day or on Father's Day, just because of like the significance. Like I said, for me, like the Billy Hall one has significance to me, just because it was the first game his mom got to see him play in person, and it was Mother's Day Pink Bat walk off home run. So I would actually probably
right.
take the walk off home run hit.
I got this. You ready?
Go Wyatt.
I got away. It's going to be good. I would rather walk off on World Series Game 7 on Halloween night and win a World Series on a walk-off home
Why
run?
do why
I
always
cheated
find a
the
way
system.
to cop out?
I just won.
Why,
I won.
You
I just
always
beat the
find
system.
a way to cop out.
I beat the
on
system. I
everything.
got a World Series
Except-
title and a walk-off home run in the same thing.
Except it's usually
I
it's
win.
never on Halloween.
Well, it is this year.
It was last year,
It is
too.
this time.
Anyway,
It is this time.
Halloween night was Game 7 last year. But
Oh, was it?
regardless.
No.
Was it really?
Yeah, it was.
I beat the system. Yes.
But I mean, everybody would rather hit a walk-off during Game 7 of the World Series. Obviously, you freaking God, this kid. Why don't you know why I
answered
play
the
games with
question.
him, Tori?
Nah.
Anyway, I'd
Waffle.
rather have
It's all
I'd
about
rather
the
have a 4
waffles.
home run game. Not very many people have hit a home run on a 4 home run game. But people, I mean, it is true. If you do hit a walk off on a holiday, it's something people always remember. People always remember for the Red Sox when they walked off on Patriots Day. People remember for their teams when they walk off on Mother's Day or Father's Day or Memorial
Was
Day.
it a couple
that
of
type
seasons
stuff.
ago?
So-
I think he played for the White Sox, I believe. I could be totally wrong. But his dad passed away like the day before Father's Day, and he had his son born on Father's Day, and he had a
Yeah.
walk-off on Father's Day. Who was that?
I can't remember.
It happened
There's
like
a-
3 years ago, I think.
Yeah,
2 or 3
I
years
don't,
ago.
Steve Sachs.
Steve Sachs, get out of here. Anyway,
Bobby Boucher.
we'll find the answer to that. We'll look that up and find the answer. But moving on, keeping up with the baseball stuff. We all know what baseball's doing now. They're checking the pitchers. So imagine that you are a major league umpire right now. Would you rather have a pitcher drop trowel when you're checking his hands, or have to rub your hands through his thinning, sweaty hair?
I would absolutely rather be checking their hands and them drop trowel because I don't have to look. I can look away. You could never pay me to rub someone's head. No way. I would never put my hands in someone else's hair. That is beyond nasty. That is the nastiest. When that umpire did it, I gagged. I was like, ugh, why did you just rub your hands through his sweaty head? It was so nasty. I cannot believe he did it. So 100
Do you
billion
think he
times,
needed a towel after to wipe off his hands? Was
I
there
think
enough
so.
sweat on there?
Seriously, that's so. It was so nasty. Like when he stuck his hands in his hair and started rubbing around, I'm like, dude, stop. And he did it for so long too. I'm like, dude, stop. Please.
I know,
He
it was
doing
almost
for
like he was
5
caressing it after a second.
Right,
It was
right. It's
I was
almost like he
whoa,
liked it. I'm like,
this
dude,
is getting
what are you
weird
doing?
right now.
This is weird.
Tori,
Like a hair fetish we got going on.
I'm gonna say let me run the fingers through the hair because it'd be like, is that Pert Plus?
oh
Your
my
hair is
God.
so soft. I'm guessing that's what that was whispering to him and all. So, but my thing is, this hand sanitizer. I don't want to see somebody's junk. So
But
I
they're
don't
wearing
care.
boxers,
They're wearing
so you don't see their
underwear.
junk.
You're not gonna see it.
Look away. Anyway,
So-
I'm with Wyatt on this one, man. I'd rather have them drop trowel while I'm checking their hands because I'm checking their hands. Their hands are extended. They drop trowel. I look at them eye to eye. I don't have to look down. I don't have to touch.
They
down
drop
there.
trowel.
I'm not
The first
checking
thing
down
that
there.
Combs
I'm
does
not
is
checking
makes
down
eye
there for
contact with
sticky
another man.
substances, because that's the one place you could probably have a sticky substance that I'm not going to check. And so I'm absolutely going with the drop trowel while I'm checking the hands as opposed to rubbing through their
See?
thinning, sweaty, bald head.
Bulls on team run his fingers through his hair.
Wyatt. I'd run both hands through Wyatt's lustrous hair. All right.
God.
Would
Last
it
one
be
here,
lustrous
guys.
or illustrious hair?
It might be lustrous because
Luscious
he might
locks.
be lusting for it. I'm not sure.
Luscious
So-
locks.
And just
The
whisper.
NBA, Jesus Christ. Moving on, the NBA admitted that the refs missed Giannis's free throw violations late in Game 1. So I'm going to ask you guys this: would you rather blow a call in a playoff game, or blow a call that stops a player from completing history? We all remember the umpire who called, I can't remember the pitcher's name right now, but for the Detroit Tigers, called the last runner of a perfect
Miguel
game
Cabrera put his
safe
hands
when
on
he
his
was
head
out by like 3 feet. So would you rather blow a call in a playoff game that costs the team a game, or blow a call that stops a player from completing history? Why?
Give me. Oof.
Come on,
Wyatt,
Wyatt.
it's you.
This is Combs. I think this is the first. No, it's probably like the third
There's
time.
been
This is
like
a really good one. It's
1,000
like
of them that you haven't answered.
right. I don't know. That is I guess. Team. I guess I'd rather, because I don't know, especially like with the situation with the perfect game. Like, I would feel so bad if I screwed over one individual person from history. Because
Armando Galarraga it was.
yeah.
Armando Galarraga, yep.
Rather than like, because for that situation, I don't know. That's tough. That's such a tough. I guess I'd rather. Yeah, I guess I'd rather do a playoff game with a team rather than a person's perfect game.
Tori?
I 100% agree. I would rather not screw up history. I'd rather. There's a 7-game series when it comes to basketball, so like I would rather screw up a game in a playoff game where there's a series, and rather than have like take away somebody's chance at making history, because they can recover from that blown call in the playoff game. You can't recover from taking away a piece of history from somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm the same way, man. I'd much rather blow a playoff game just because a team can rebound. There's more games in the series. There's this, there's that, and I understand. You know, even if it costs them the series, they've still got next year. They've still got all. A guy throwing a perfect game is a rare occasion. I think it's only happened, I believe, 13 times in Major League history throughout its over 100-year history. So when you stopped that, and Jim Joyce, the umpire of that game, was in tears afterwards.
Yes.
He was extremely upset. The next day, Armando Galarraga came out and delivered the lineup card, and Jim Joyce was in tears again because he understands what he did. And that would be one of those where it's just, I don't know if I could rebound from that. So we're going to take another quick break, guys. And then when we come back, we're going to get to some more sports headlines. We will get into some shop talk and talk about what you guys want to talk about. So start thinking about the topics you want to hear us talk about for the end of the show. We will be right back.
What is your name?
What?
What is your name?
Fuck!
Where did you get that shirt?
It's funny that you should ask that. Head over to manhourradio.com. You can pick up the shirt up. $15.
And we are back without Tori Anderson. Oh, he was. What were you doing?
I was laid back in my chair because my back is killing me.
Oh, okay.
Is
that what you were doing? I mean, you had your phone out. You were all laid back, like
right.
We were just talking about sweaty hair and dropping trowel. Like, I don't know.
Jesus is watching.
at all times.
So is Javier and Buck and Facebook user
Nana.
And Streamlab.
Gosh.
The Streamlabs comes up and goes after Buck.
Oh my God, it did.
At least it didn't put
Michael
him on time.
Buckheister, please refrain from using foul language.
from saying porn.
We
Now
just got
porn is
canceled right
foul
there.
language.
Jeez.
Okay, and go. All right, so got some more headlines to go over. Jeez, Crow. We go off the rails like crazy on the show, but that's what makes us, right, boys?
Oh yeah.
Right.
All
What
right,
makes us
so
the best damn show on the radio.
let's get back to a topic that is near and dear to your guys' heart. If Aaron Rodgers doesn't report to training camp, at what point do the players start to turn on Rodgers?
Actually, I'll tell you what. I want to hear Tori's first. Tori, you go first.
I don't think that they do. I think they just proceed as business as usual. And they're like, whoever's the quarterback is the quarterback. You know what? I'm here. I'm here to play football. I'm here to win football games. They're still a playoff team with Jordan Love at the helm.
I agree with the first part of that, not the Jordan Love part. I agree. Well, I don't want to say I don't even agree with that either because I don't know yet. But I do agree. I don't really think that much changes. I think that everybody in that locker room loves Aaron and they understand what's going on right now. Because we've seen the outpour of support from other players, like Devontae Adams saying, you know, hey, if Aaron isn't here, I don't know if I will be because he's my guy. You know, there's been a large outpour of support.
But
for Aaron.
until yesterday, Wyatt, when Devontae says, I want to be in Green Bay.
Oh, yeah, I know. I'm just saying, like, he has shown his support. Like, that's why I don't necessarily
So let me ask you
think
this.
that there will be a point of that.
If he doesn't show up to training camp and Jordan Love is lighting it up and he's creating chemistry with the guys and he's showing that he is a capable quarterback that could lead this team to the playoffs, and if you get into the playoffs, you've always got a chance. If he is creating chemistry and he's showing these guys that he can be a winning quarterback in this league, do they then decide that they're ready to go away from Aaron Rodgers?
What do you mean by go away from him? Do you mean let him sit at home,
the players
trade
start
him?
backing up the team. The players start backing up the team and say, you know what? If they trade him, we're fine with Jordan Love.
The players are always going to back up the team because guess what? They still have a contract. They still have to work.
Right.
So no matter what,
but
they're
they've been
always
backing up Rodgers. I mean, Devontae Adams has backed up Rodgers throughout this whole process.
Yeah, but if they're like, if my boy's not here, I'm not going to be here. That's backing up your boy.
And now he's
That's
there.
Right. This isn't really backing your boy. It's supporting your boy. Saying, you know what, I understand why he's doing what he's doing. I get it. I appreciate it, and I am behind what he is doing. But I'm still here to do my job. You know, if you are backing up your boy, you're like, screw it, I'm out of here too. That would be like a team walking out. Like everybody wanted to make, you know, headway about, the top 5 wide receivers didn't show up for a voluntary OTA. Well, most players don't show up for a voluntary OTA if they don't need the workout bonus.
Let me ask you guys this. If they do trade Rodgers, which is still a possibility, the 3 teams that are most likely landing spots are Denver, San Francisco, and Las Vegas. You're probably going to get you're going to get their starting quarterback in return. So out of those 3 starting quarterbacks, which one would you rather see in Green Bay, and are they the backup or are they the starter if they come there?
I don't think that they do get another quarterback unless if it's a bigger name team. But of the teams they've listed, I don't think they'll get a quarterback. They've already got the Packers already have 4 quarterbacks on roster now, maybe 5. I mean, we got Blake Bortles is there now.
Blake Bortles,
Kirk Benkert.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying that.
If you get Jimmy G, or if you get
the thing is
I can't think of the kid's name out of Denver.
I agree with Wyatt there. They're not going to trade him to get a quarterback in return when
They
they're
spent
already
a first-round
installing the
pick on a
offense.
quarterback
Derek
already.
Carr?
It doesn't
What about
matter.
Derek Carr?
they're installing their offense right now around.
You don't
Jordan
think
Love.
You don't think Derek Carr is a better option right now than Jordan Love? Derek Carr puts up great numbers in losing seasons in Vegas.
It has nothing to do with how good or bad Derek Carr is. It has to do with the fact that they're setting up everything around Jordan, and to go last minute and just switch everything up. And here's the deal.
So if you believe they're setting everything up around Jordan, then they're already going away from Aaron Rodgers then, right?
No, because the offense is
they've already got everything instilled for Aaron.
So Aaron can walk in and flip it back to whatever it is he needs to be.
That team already knows Aaron's whole system.
Yeah, and the players already know that this is what he likes. Versus
They've played with Aaron for a long time. They already know what Aaron wants.
Yeah, if you make a trade, but the thing is, this goes for any NFL team that would make a trade. That's why you don't see a ton of trades like that towards the beginning of the season, because the offense is already being installed around those players. It's going around their skills and their strengths. So, it's not. I don't think that's why I say he would end up in Washington before he ends up in any of those other three. Because Washington, A, will still have the capital to give up, and B, knowing that they're not probably giving up a top 10 pick while Aaron would be there if they traded for him.
Okay. I mean, that's fair. That's a fair statement. I think if you trade Aaron Rodgers, that one of those teams is going to give up their starting quarterback merely for the cap room.
I would say
they're going to make you take one.
The closest thing you're going to get would be to the Raiders, and you're not getting Derek Carr. You're getting Marcus Mariota because he worked.
Derek Carr.
No, you would get Marcus Mariota because he worked under LaFleur in Tennessee. He knows the offense.
But come on, you want Derek Carr over Marcus Mariota? Are you out of your mind?
But there again, it's down to scheme and fit. If Mariota is the better scheme, the better fit, and a cheaper option,
Mariota is not the better scheme and fit anywhere over any starting quarterback. Come on, man.
I mean, you got Andy Dalton as your starting quarterback,
and that's how you get muted. That's that right
hear
there.
What he said. What did he say?
Stupid stuff like that is how you get muted. He said that you've got Andy Dalton as your starting quarterback.
But it's a fact. It's nothing but fact.
Yeah. No, it's not. He's not going to be the
I
starting
also
quarterback.
think that part of it, too, has to do with if, say they do trade Aaron, that right there tells me that, and tells Jordan as well, that he is the guy. Like, they've got 4 quarterbacks on roster right now. But here's the deal. Derek Carr is more of a threat than Blake Bortles will ever be. So with Blake Bortles on roster, he's not threatened whatsoever. But bringing on a guy like Derek Carr will threaten Jordan Love, and he'll be like, hey, look, I thought I was the guy. I waited my time. I did my time. It's time for me to step into the limelight, and now you're bringing this other guy in. So that would just tick off Jordan Love, too, because they spent a first-round draft pick on Love. When Aaron leaves, if Love is still there, Love is going to be the guy. Love is going to be the quarterback, at least for a season, at least for week 1 of that next season. Now, who knows? He may get out there and play terrible or get injured or something, but he'll at least be the guy for the next start of the next season because they spent a first-round pick on him. And if they were going to trade Jordan Love, they would have already done it by now. They would have done it once Aaron got the MVP, once they went 13 and at the end of the 13-3 season, maybe even before that, whenever they saw that the Packers started off real hot. So I think when Aaron leaves, no matter what, there won't be a quarterback come in because Love is the guy, and they don't want to bring somebody in to threaten that and take him.
Let me ask you this then: the only way you keep Rodgers, and you guys are adamant that Rodgers is staying in Green Bay, and you want Rodgers to stay in Green Bay, correct?
Absolutely.
I mean, who wouldn't? Who doesn't want their Hall of Fame?
So the only way you get Aaron Rodgers back is if he gets his long-term contract that he wants. He wants to get his final contract. He wants to have it pay him until he retires. He wants to get big bucks. If that's the case, you have to trade Jordan Love, don't you? If he's playing until he's 45, Jordan Love is gone.
Absolutely. The thing is at that point, then you're hoping that you have developed him enough to be a really good starting quarterback in the league.
How does anybody know whether or not they want him? Because if he's not playing, how does anybody know he wants him?
Preseason prima donna quarterbacks all the time get flipped.
Yeah, but how does anybody? Everybody's still burning from Matt Flynn.
That's a good point. That's a good point, Combs, because they won't. You're right. They won't be able to see him. But at the end of the day, this guy hasn't seen the field, which is a bad thing for some teams to see. But it's also a good thing. That means he's never once been hit yet. Every time you get hit on an NFL field, it's like going through a car accident. Your body. So the fact that he's never been hit is going to be attractive to these teams. What Tori said is also correct. They're going to see the preseason film. He's got on the field for that at least.
No, not yet. He hasn't.
Well, he's going to. And also, you can go back and look at the guy's college film and see the things that he did. Now, yes, because he hasn't played in a regular season game.
There's only 2 preseason games, though, now.
No, I know, and that's what...
And not only that, your starting your backup quarterback is only going to play, 2 quarters, and he's going to be playing against the 3rd and 4th string defenses. He's not going to be playing against top-tier defense. You don't know what you got
he will.
Jordan Love if you trade for Jordan Love, it's a blind trade.
But the thing is, though, is in a shortened preseason like that, because they have to see what the starters are going to be out there.
That's the point of a shortened preseason. You get more players.
Aaron Rodgers will not be out there. So Jordan Love will be out there against the number ones at first.
Yeah.
Because you know you have an Aaron Rodgers. Jordan Love will go up against the number ones. Aaron will play a series or two.
So Aaron's not going to do any training camp, and he's only going to take a series or 2 of snaps in preseason?
That's what he's been doing.
Y'all going to be worse than what Luke G thought.
Aaron doesn't really ever play in the preseason.
Aaron never plays. Anyways.
But he does do training camp.
I mean, if you call it that, like he goes out and tosses balls into a net and does trick throws.
What is it with you and tossing balls tonight?
They ride on bikes to the practice field. This is what Aaron does. He rides a bike to a practice field and then throws a ball in a net for however long that they're out there.
He's like,
Aaron doesn't do much at training camp as is.
Watch me just sit back and toss this ball into like this hoop-like net from 70 yards out.
Right. That's basically what he does anyways.
It is.
But with that being said, with him not being on the field, his value will decrease, but there are plenty of other viable options where teams can see what he has to display.
So I mean, look, we're going to see what happens, and ultimately we'll figure it out, like who knows what they're talking about, but I just think that I think that in a world where you're trading for Jordan Love and only seeing what he's got in the preseason, I just think it's a blind trade. So let me ask you guys this: we talk about the NFC East, and you can tell that Michael Buckheister is the one who made this rundown. The NFC East, he loves this NFC East. I don't know why he loves them so much, but
because they're so
they were the worst division in football last year, maybe the worst division ever in football history. Have they become the best division in football now?
No, they're not even mediocre yet. They're still the worst division in football. But the thing is, the sad part is every team got better in that division, and they're still the worst team, or they're still the worst division in all of football.
I still think that they'll be better because of their schedule. They'll be better than the NFC North this year because of that NFC North schedule.
I still think schedule though wise, I still think the NFC North is good enough that they're still not as bad as the NFC East. The NFC East has always had a trend of being the worst, but that making them the best. And what I mean by that is they're the worst division, so when they play each other, it's always the best games because they're all terrible 99.9% of the time. That's the way I've always looked at the NFC East.
Not only that, but then, I mean, you've got to look at divisions like the NFC South. You've got to look at divisions like the NFC West, the AFC West, and even the AFC North is going to be extremely competitive. So I just, the NFC East is going to be one of the 2 to 3 worst divisions in football this year.
Do you guys think that the NFC North is really that bad though? Because I don't.
I think their schedule
is really good this year.
I think that they're good too. But that schedule is brutal. That not only do they beat up on each other inside of the division, but then they go outside of the division and they don't have any like cream puff games. They're playing the NFC West. They're playing the AFC West. Like it is a brutal schedule all the way through the NFC North. I don't think they have 2 10-win teams this year.
I think they might. I really do. I think they might actually even possibly have 3, depending on how good the Bears will be. I've got
the Vikings winning that division at 10-7, And then I've got nobody else with more than 8 wins. Like, it's just this division is bad.
If the Packers have Aaron Rodgers, you only give them 8 wins.
If the Packers have Aaron Rodgers, then I'll give them probably 10. So, if Minnesota holds true and wins 10, then they'll have 2 10-win teams. But I don't think that they're going to win more. It's a brutal schedule, man. It really is. I mean, you look at the Packers schedule alone. The Packers start the season off with New Orleans, then they play Detroit, but then they play San Francisco, Pittsburgh, Cincinnati. Then they get the Bears, in Chicago. Which these NFC North division games are always tough.
I heard one tough game, and that was Pittsburgh.
What? San Francisco, New Orleans.
No.
What? Then they get Washington. Then they get Arizona. Then Kansas City.
Arizona's
then Minnesota.
nothing.
Stop it. Then you get the Rams, you get the Ravens, you get the Browns. I mean, those are all of your out of division games. Like, that's a tough schedule.
That's a 13-4 schedule.
I think it's a 12-5 schedule. I think I'm right up there with him. For the Packers, at least.
It is.
Aaron's there.
Because
you're letting your fandom talk right now. You're not letting logic talk. You're talking about the Arizona.
13-3 the last 2
tough.
years, and nothing's changed. We've only gotten better. We were 13-3 the last 2 years. What else has shown you that we're going to be 10-7 all of a sudden?
So you've been 13-3, but you haven't played a schedle like this.
We played the Chiefs in the last 2 years.
All right, so you played the Chiefs. Who else other than the Chiefs have you played?
So we go 8-0.
Same AFC West division.
We go 8-0 at home, and we go 4-4 on the road. So
we played the NFC South last year, who had 3 good teams and then a dumpster fire in Atlanta. I mean, we've played.
I'll say
tough.
We go 5-4 on the road. So that's 13-4.
Last year, you played out of division. You played Atlanta. You played New Orleans. You played Tampa.
Tough. That was tough.
You played Houston.
That wasn't tough.
You played San Francisco, which was horrible last year. You played Jacksonville.
Still good defense.
Stop it. You played Jacksonville. Their entire defense was hurt last year. Stop it.
They were still a top 5 defense last year statistically.
Then you played Jacksonville. You played Indianapolis, who just didn't have a quarterback last year.
They beat us in overtime. It was a tough game.
Phillip Rivers had a good year last year. What are you talking about? They
how many playoff games did they win?
One? Oh.
None.
They didn't win one.
0. Then you played Philadelphia. You played Carolina. You did not play the Bills.
No, they played the Bills. That's what I'm saying. They played the Bills in the playoffs. That's who they lost to.
Yep.
Yeah.
They lost to the Bills.
So then you got Philly, you got Carolina. Like, you did not play a tough schedule last year. Stop it. You want to go back to 2019? You think you played a tough schedule in 2019? Your out of division opponents were Philadelphia again.
Philadelphia was good that year.
The best part is that there's common opponents in there with the Bears, and the Bears still sucked.
Oh my God! Okay, so again,
read the
every
schedule.
time
I'm counting. We're at 6 tough games over the last 2 years.
Every time, 6 tough games over 2 years. You play 16 in a season, Wyatt.
No, you haven't named the second season yet. You haven't
anyway,
and I'm talking away games only. There's
Tori,
only 8 away games.
You keep going back to the Bears did this. You compare yourself to the worst run franchise in the last 50 years. So if you want to keep comparing yourself to the worst run franchise in the last,
the Cleveland Browns,
and I'm a Bears fan. Stop it. The Bears
Jets
have been worse run than the Cleveland Browns and the New York Jets. At least they've tried to win. Stop.
No.
Anyway,
come on now,
guys. If you guys have anything you want to talk about in Shop Talk, now's your time to throw it in. Javier chimes in and says, "Combs, be nicer. I'm telling ESPN."
I love Javi.
So. We're gonna get to Shop Talk. You guys tell us what you want to talk about. We're gonna skip our last break here, guys. Last night, the Philadelphia Phillies played a game against the Washington Nationals where 23 runs were scored. Isn't the ball supposed to be a dead ball right now?
I don't know. We're supposed to be checking pitchers a couple of times a game. Maybe we should be checking bats. Apparently, I mean,
Or maybe we should start checking Major League Baseball and see what there is to this baseball thing where they deaden a ball, liven a ball. We can't check Major League Baseball though, can we?
Nope. Not until it affects something like, the pitchers were soaking the ball in water before the game and drying it out. I mean, which has been done, but
well, not only that, but then they go to like places like Colorado and they put it in a dehumidifier for 2 hours before a game.
Right.
You know what I mean? So they're constantly altering stuff. And everybody knows that they put it in the humidor is what they call it.
Yep.
Like they do all sorts of stuff to alter the game. And they don't have a problem with the way they do it, but as soon as they get called out for knowing that people are cheating, all of a sudden they want to throw the players under the bus.
Yeah, absolutely. Baseball is one of the biggest hypocrites ever. And I believe it was you that said it a couple nights ago, Brandon, was every time they get their hand caught in the cookie jar, they throw the players under the bus.
Every single time. You look at it throughout Major League Baseball history, anytime they've been caught for something, they throw the players under the bus. That's exactly why they gave it, and I can guarantee you, people, and you've heard me say it, you can't give the Houston Astros a suspension, but you give the pitchers a suspension, a 10-game suspension for using stuff you've let them use their whole career. But there's a reason why they gave them immunity. Do you know why they gave them immunity? Just read between the lines. Use your heads. The reason why baseball gave the Astros immunity is because the Astros says if you don't give us immunity, we're going to blow the whistle on the fact that you let the entire league do this. Yeah. The entire league is using the cameras to check. So that's why they gave the Astros immunity, because they didn't want to get caught again. They didn't want to go up there. They didn't want to have their name soiled. That's why they let baseball get away with this, and I'm sick of the way baseball treats its players. I'm sick of the way that they let them use them as scapegoats. I love this game with all of my heart, but I don't know for the life of me why they continue to throw their players under the bus when the players are the only reason why we're watching. The only reason why we're watching.
Right, yeah.
So, all right, so I want to get to something here. Javi, I saw this in the comments. Wyatt, I'm going to go ahead and ask you. Javier says, I'm done with Rodgers. He's a drama queen. Do you think that Rodgers is being a drama queen right now? It doesn't matter what you think, because that is the end of the show, Wyatt Williams. And you've talked enough about Aaron Rodgers today. Tori, send us out of here.
Man hour.
That is my job, Tori. Got them both, baby. Man hour nation.
Man hour nation. Rise up.